Okay, let's go.
Cheers, UK.
Cheers, UK. Boy, do we have some news. I think we talked about this just 2 nights ago.
Right, it's a couple of days ago. That's
A couple
correct.
days ago, and I made a pretty bold prediction. It looks like one part of that prediction is coming true, but we'll see about the other part as well. We're actually awaiting news right now. Any news that might be coming through on this, we will obviously let you know. But the question everyone is asking in Big Blue Nation, is Mark Pope on the verge of yet another massive recruiting win? KSR's Jack Pilgrim broke the news that Kentucky last night, you and I were texting late, was among the front runners to land Nikola Kusturica, a 6'8" Serbian wing with legitimate NBA lottery pick
How old
potential.
is he, Kyle?
He's 17. I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm about to blow your mind with a stat here in a second. By Tuesday night, word spread that UK might actually be the leader. Pilgrim wrote that Pope's Wildcats may have taken over as the favorite. And Travis Branham, who, as you can see on the screen right now, has a 94.51% all-time picks prediction when it comes to this. He came out, gave his crystal ball. He's with 24/7 Sports, logged an official prediction in favor of Kusturica committing to Kentucky. Dark Pope, as people are calling him, bearded Mark Pope, might be about to land his 15th player for the upcoming 2026-27 season. An industry insider going from front runner to favorite to an actual logged prediction is wild, even in this day and age.
Yeah.
In about 72 hours, that's a recruitment heating up in real time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why this may be taking a little bit longer and why Kentucky might actually might have some laws that cause things to be a little bit issue. We'll talk about that in a second. But what is your gut reaction to Kentucky possibly being the favorite for a legitimate NBA lottery pick out of Europe?
I think we both saw it right off, at the same time, because when you texted me, I was looking for 24/7 Sports because I think they're just extremely reliable on their stuff. And then you showed the crystal ball prediction. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is getting serious."
Yeah,
they do have very good record. You've got the stat up there. I didn't know it was that high, 94.51%. But this getting this guy could change the whole dynamics of the team. But as you noted yesterday, and we discussed, he's only 17. He's got to be 19 to get into the NBA. So we would have him for 2 years.
So I'm gonna blow your mind. Okay. Kusturica just turned 17 on April 30th. Okay. That means that he was born on April 30th of 2009.
Yeah.
And just for all of you Big Blue fans out there, that was 15 days after DeMarcus Cousins committed to the University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
He was born in 2009, and he was born after Boogie Cousins committed to Kentucky. Let that just sink in.
Under Calipari, yeah, that's
Calipari. That's how young this kid is.
What did I text you? I said, "Well, subtract 50 years from that, there's my birth year." So, I mean, this is crazy.
Kusturica turned 17 on the 30th of April, making him eligible for the NBA draft, making him not eligible until 2028, giving him 2 years of college eligibility starting in 26-27. He currently suits up for FC Barcelona in Spain's Liga ACB, considered the top domestic professional league outside the NBA. Kusturica is the youngest player in FC Barcelona's entire history to score a basket in a Liga game, doing it at 16 years old. He was playing for the professional league at 16 years old.
The number one professional European league.
Yeah, he was born in Novi Sad, Serbia. He signed with Barcelona's youth academy in 2023. FC Barcelona's basketball program is one of the most storied professional clubs in European history, with a pipeline that's produced multiple NBA talent for many years.
The young NBA champions.
And NBA champions. That alone tells you the kind of talent that he has. Let me dig a little bit deeper into this story just so you can kind of understand, though. Because he's 17, His when he comes to Kentucky, his parents will have to sign every document, right?
Right.
Because he's 17, including his NIL document. When he turns 18 in Kentucky, he has 30 days to essentially re-sign with Kentucky, essentially agreeing to the agreement that he had before.
Oh, okay.
So in a year, his agent and his parents are going to have a significant amount of leverage because regardless of whatever this agreement is that we reach right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to continue with that agreement because he's a minor,
Yeah.
right? So
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
he can't even agree to it in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now, that means a couple of things. It means that the University of Kentucky is going to have to recruit his family just as much as they are recruiting him because they are going to be the adults in the room. An aspect of this that has to be taken into consideration is Milan Momcilovic, who is from Wisconsin, right? He is an American citizen born in the United States. His parents, however, are Serbian.
Correct.
And so there are a number of people who have said that the Momcilovic effect and potentially having his family, including you, Craig, and having his family reaching out to the family of Kusturica could be the big factor in why this is happening so fast. Your thoughts?
I think that it is that's what's happening. I think his parents are communicating. Momcilovic's parents are communicating with Kusturica's. Is that right?
Yes.
Kusturica's parents, and giving them what Momcilovic went through, his whole U.S. experience, playing college basketball, and then being recruited by UK, and these highlights of a 16-year-old kid are just amazing. And he was the MVP of the under 16 FIBA European tournament. He averaged. I think you're going to share those numbers, so I won't say them because they're pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
But he as a under 18, he played some seriously good basketball.
Yeah. He starred in the 2025 FIBA. They just finished the 2026 FIBA, and he didn't play in the championship, but he starred in the 2025 FIBA U16 Eurobasket, leading Serbia to a 99-86 championship win over Lithuania, two great countries.
Another good team, yeah.
He averaged 20 points, 7.7 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 2.1 steals, and 1.6 blocks in just 25.6 minutes per outing.
Right.
Tournament MVP. He also helped Barcelona's youth team win the Adidas Next Gen Finals Championship, posting 20 points and 10 rebounds in the title game while showing off his handles, his passing, his feel, his defensive plays. He's not flashy. I mean, he's just a player. He's got great handles. Craig, I was watching last night some highlights of this kid when he was 8 years old doing dribbling drills with two basketballs and then sinking threes with both of them. He's only a 30% three-point shooter, which means he's not, but this kid scores. He has an for the basket.
His handles, and I'm going to this is going way back in the college basketball and NBA world. I'm wondering if he's watching Pete Maravich's videos with like you said, the two-handed dribbling and stuff.
Yep.
But what's the most impressive, the 20 points, that's fine and dandy. But averaging 7 rebounds, getting 10 rebounds in a game as a guard.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's first round pick NBA. You're making $15 million your first year in the NBA numbers.
Well, and a 6'8", 17-year-old who is probably not done growing, who can play essentially any position
right
short of a center position, gives you a lot more flexibility playing him at a 4 or a 3 or even a 2 if you needed him to.
Watch him on his layups. He reminds you of Rex Chapman on his layup. The way he sticks his arm out and flicks it right at the end reminds you of that. And then his ball handling skills remind me of Pete Maravich going way back. So,
that pass right there. I mean,
Rex had a good NBA career.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of respect in the NBA community. I see videos on him where they're talking about Rex Chapman and how he was with Phoenix and everything. So this, I mean, it just
Rex Chapman shut Michael Jordan down. In
and
fact,
Michael Jordan says that.
Michael Jordan says the
He
toughest.
praises,
Yeah.
he praises Rex Chapman for that.
Uh,
And then you've seen all the late game heroics where Chapman would hit them off balance 3-pointers, and I mean it was just fun to watch him play. Of course, because we didn't have many UK players in the NBA then, but this kid, I mean, would he come here and start?
I mean, he could, at least for a few games, you know, but he doesn't have to. That's the great
How
thing.
much he weigh? What's he weighing in at?
180 pounds, I think.
Okay, so he wouldn't be going. He wouldn't be banging with SEC players. He'd get minutes.
No,
Yeah, he wouldn't be starting, but he'd be getting minutes.
Yeah. Schools showing real interest were Gonzaga, Kentucky, UCLA, Arizona, Duke, Louisville, North Carolina. It sounds like money, again, was the big factor here. I saw a really funny post earlier today that basically said, can you imagine if UK once again has the highest payroll in NIL?
Yeah, it upset me last year. I don't care now.
Just a month ago, they were like, Kentucky doesn't have any players and they're not paying anybody, and blah blah blah. And now,
then you mentioned yesterday. You said Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Tell us again.
Yeah.
What you said about Gonzaga and who they signed. And why UK jumped to the top.
So Gonzaga recently added over last weekend a 6'6" French guard named Juman Akanga, and that a lot of analysts essentially believe that pulled the Bulldogs squarely out of the race entirely. Meanwhile, Kentucky's pitch is red hot after bringing in Milan Momcilovic to the transfer portal and landing 5-star recruit Ryan Hampton, who will be playing the next year.
Right, yeah.
A program that flipped its recruiting narrative completely in the span of 1 week. Remember, it was just 2 weeks ago that all this started happening. Mark Pope's recruiting heater just keeps going. You know, Momcilovic, Hampton, now potentially the top prospect in the entire 2027 class internationally. Does Gonzaga's roster move actually clear a path for Kentucky here, or do you think Mark Few and the Zags stay in the fight a little bit longer?
I think it clears the path because we're sure, because we didn't sign Momcilovic. You know, they said $8.5 million, $8 million, $7.5 million. I've seen others go as $5 million.
Yeah.
So if we did and we were holding back so much money, we've got money to put in. We've got a roster spot available. And we just signed Momcilovic. We just signed Ryan Hampton, which is 2 massive feathers in Pope's cap, the bearded one's cap. Has he still got his beard?
Oh, yeah, Dark Pope.
Dark Pope. Okay, so all those things. And then if we get this guy, if somehow we land this guy as our 15th player, man, watch the floodgates open next year on recruits.
It sounds like this is what I have heard is that it sounds like this is a $5+ million offer that has been made for 2 years, $5 million each, $5 million plus each,
which is way more than he's making in Europe.
Oh, I mean, significantly more. Plus, you're an American college. He also is considering going to a prep academy that is being coached by the same guy who coached LaMelo Ball and those guys, but choosing the European Professional League or a Kentucky college or a high school doesn't even make sense. I mean, from an NIL perspective.
Yeah, because he won't get the teaching that he needs to advance to the college level for 1 year before he goes pro.
Right.
They would just basically be just a stopover, and he'd do whatever the heck he wanted to do on the team.
Yeah.
But
so
if he spends 2 years with Pope and the analytics and the coaches that we've got, potentially 2 NBA coaches, and Pope being an NBA player, and Pope also being on, I think, and many people think, the greatest college basketball team of all time, the 1996 UK Wildcats, that won every game by close to 22-point average, I think. Slaughtered everybody. Greatest year ever in UK basketball. He'll see. I'm sure he's being shown those videos, or he's looking those videos up, or his circle of people are looking them up and saying, man, look how this guy played in 1996. Look at his analytics today.
Let me tell you this. This kid plays defense.
Well, yeah, if he's getting 10 rebounds a game, he's definitely going to play defense,
long, and he's averaging over 2 steals a game and averaging 1.6
which is
blocks.
big. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That means you're getting a lot more than that in some games, right?
Yeah, right.
So a lot of people have asked us. A lot of people have reached out to us. John Boy, who's not on here yet, but I'm sure will comment later because he watches our shows a little later.
Mhm.
What's the next steps? Well, Kusturica represents Serbia at the FIBA U17 World Cup, running June 27th through July 5th in Istanbul, Turkey.
We'll be watching that.
We will, but a college decision could and very likely will come before that tournament even starts. Barcelona is obviously going to try to keep him, but the idea of playing in the United States and the actual NIL money you're going to get that comes with it is going to be too much of a reach for a 17-year-old and his family to
Right.
probably
Well,
pass up.
yeah, because it's they're not rich over there.
No, they aren't.
And let me ask you this:
Yep.
if he does sign with Kentucky or any other U.S. college, do you think they would let him participate in the FIBA 17-year-old tournament for fear of injury? Would that be in the contract?
That's a good question. He probably has a contractual obligation at this point, even though it's a national country.
Because you see NBA players playing for their home country.
Right. The only other benefit of him playing is it keeps him in shape. He's going to be playing against great competition, whereas you come here and just be in pickup games, right?
Right, for right now, yeah.
So, yeah, for right now.
But he'll be getting used to the American system too.
Yeah, 100%. But if he lands at Kentucky, analysts believe he's going to be an immediate impact player immediately, not just a sit and develop prospect.
That's why I asked if he would start or not.
Right. We're going to have a 6'8" wing who's already played EuroLeague level basketball, already has a Liga ACB experience, already won an MVP at an international level, and Kentucky might be the favorite to land him before he even steps on the floor at the U17.
And let's run this scenario. You got Wilkins or Diallo at the point. You got Cam Williams at the shooting guard. Then you got how you say it, Momcilovic on one wing and him on the other. And then our 2 7-footers underneath. And then you got Frank Kepnang and Reese Potter and all those guys that would be coming off the bench to spell these guys. Oh my goodness. It's even better than we have talked about before. It'd be crazy.
Listen, people thought that you and I were excited and positive about this team prior to Momcilovic even coming.
When others weren't.
Anything about the hype if we land this dude. If we land this dude, get ready because we're not
ridiculous.
We're a top 20 team. We are a contender, right?
Yeah, we're already top 15, and the way too early NCAA tournament, we had the biggest jump this week from all the 68 teams. We went from an 8 seed to a 5 seed, and said we could.
So low. That's so low.
Yeah, they got Louisville as a 2 seed. Duke is a 1, of course, but if we sign him, I've been saying with Momcilovic we're top 7.
Yeah,
we sign this guy, we're top 5 in the first real poll, and it might be blowout city with our 7 cupcake games.
Oh, don't get me started on Dickie V.
Yeah, I sent you that, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
And then that's when I said do UNC and Duke last year.
Right, yeah. And
they all play cupcakes.
So we'll Kansas can have Ryan Stokes. I'll take Momcilovic, Ryan Hampton, and however you say his name, this kid.
Kusturica.
All day long. All day long over Tyrone Stokes.
The pressure will be on Pope this year. He's going to have to do something. I had somebody text me earlier today and essentially said, now he's got the players, no excuses now. You're going to have
who's making excuses though.
Just saying, the last 2 years, everybody said, well, we had injuries or we didn't necessarily have all the right players. Not going to have that excuse anymore. Even if you do have a major injury to somebody, you've got multiple guys at different positions.
Yeah, we've got backups at every spot.
If you really needed them to.
Right, yeah, you've got backups at every spot. Now we will have 3 point guards, 3 shooting guards, multiple forwards on both wings, and 3 centers.
Yeah.
And I guess you would play Frank the Tank in a center spot or a forward.
Power forward.
Yeah, and
Again, I don't know how you're going to
so
out
many
rebound.
options.
I don't
Yeah,
know how you're going to out rebound this team.
nope, me neither.
You're not going to out rebound them on the defensive side, and if we're even with you on the offensive side, forget it, because we're going to score more points than you. Then it's
Right,
just
because Pope likes on to score fast break points off
yep.
of rebounds,
This team
and this team is fast.
this team legitimately could average well over 90 points a game.
I don't think there's any doubt
Yep.
we'll average over 90, and before January 1, we might be averaging upper 90s.
I agree with that. I agree.
So every day brings more excitement to this team, and you've noticed online that the attitude has changed towards Pope. Attitude changed
significantly.
toward the team. The whiners and moaners, in which we were never whiners or moaners. We said, "Wait and let's see what happens." They've jumped aboard the big blue train and the bandwagon and all that stuff. So now, when you see people say negative stuff, they get hammered on these Facebook groups
Yeah.
and Twitter groups when they start bashing Pope.
It's wild.
It's fun. It's we aren't on an island by ourselves anymore.
No, and the other part of that prediction was Jamal Crawford coming, and I think, and as I said,
Mhm.
I think Kusturica is coming to Kentucky. I believe Jamal Crawford's coming to Kentucky. I think you're going to hear news about both of those at the same time.
Yeah, Crawford could come for a couple years, get his feet wet, and then go head coach
Absolutely.
somewhere. Just get in. That's what he wants: experience coaching, and he'd probably be the number 3 coach. But having 2 NBA players that one was an all-star and NBA champion, the other one scored 20,000 NBA points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
Pope, and remember, people forget Pope played in the NBA too for a couple
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And he played on the best college basketball team in America ever.
This could be one of the most experienced former NBA coaching staffs in the country.
In the country.
I
Yeah.
haven't looked that deeply, but it could absolutely be that with Mo Williams and Jamal Crawford and
Yeah.
Pope. But now all of a sudden people have to start going, may have been wrong about the recruiting ability of this. And how hard were we trying on Tyron Stokes? I don't know. Did Tyron Stokes say did he do us a favor? I think it's entirely possible.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember what I said early on after we saw the high school videos and read about him, one coach didn't start him a game, so he quit the entire team. I think this guy's going to be a nightmare. In Kansas still ain't. They're up there, but we've got more than enough players to offset Tyron Stokes at Kansas. And I think just by the players themselves that he will be a focus of the whole team, and they'll try to shut him down just to say, "Look, buddy, you should have come to Kentucky."
Yeah, I wholeheartedly
That's just
agree with that.
competitiveness of sports.
And right now, I don't care what any of the polls or preseason or too early predictions. I would take this roster even without Kusturica, but especially with Kusturica. I'd take that roster over Kansas every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Without Kusturica,
Yeah.
I would take him over it. And if we sign him, we are top 4. We'll be a minimum a 2 seed. We'll bump somebody out of a 2 seed for the tournament, and we'll be top 5 in the weekly polls, AP polls and stuff.
Yeah. It is something to be excited about. I will say, if I could grow a beard out and we land this kid, I think we should, entire Big Blue Nation should wear beards. We should all embrace the dark Pope and go from there. But it's something to behold the change in the dynamics of this team just in the last month. It's kind of crazy.
1 second. 2C TV, we'll have to watch this after. It says IRGC block Iran deal. Pahlavi, the son.
Yeah.
I guess meets 2C TV. I guess he's going to be interviewed by him today. And that's the number 1 guy in Europe with all the Iranian information, because his dad is still in Iran. So that's some breaking news too. I'm going to check that out as soon as we get off.
my take on this is that we're not slowing down. Momcilovic, Hampton, now potentially top international player.
Yeah, and this is ammo to get
Yeah.
the recruits for next year. I mean, if we land him, we might open up a pipeline to Europe.
Yeah, we really
And
could. And we had some people comment, yesterday that, the Europeans haven't caught up with the Americans. That may be true
wrong.
because that's only because we have more of them. If you're getting the top European players, then you're going to do quite well for your
European and Canadian. So,
Jamal Murray,
Jamal's from there, and so is
Jamal McGlure.
no, I'm talking about in NBA now. There are, I think, the top 6 players in the NBA. 5 of them are from non-American countries.
Jalen Brunson's American.
Well, he's not one of the top players neither.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he won the MVP, but I'll have that list tomorrow
All
of
right.
the best players. If you want to talk a little bit
Yeah.
of the NBA best players and where they're from and why, if Pope opens up, it might be a good thing to talk. Pope opens up that European pipeline, man.
Oh, I totally agree. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah,
That is a
it'll
great
be a good discussion.
That is a great story to have us excited about Kentucky's basketball future. Let's stay in the world of Kentucky athletics and shift over to football because Will Stein is just killing it. I mean, as much as we're talking about, what Dark Pope is doing up there, Will Stein and his staff are putting together one of the most impressive first-year recruiting classes ever in Kentucky football.
In Kentucky history.
Yeah, and this weekend, he's got more coming. So let's get right into that. Kentucky is up to 24 commits in the 2027 recruiting class. Not just this year coming up. The 2027 class has 24 commits. Multiple agencies have ranked them in the top 25 overall. Imagine Kentucky having a top 25 recruiting class. Number 8 in the SEC right now, if you're looking at rivals industry class rankings, but they're not done. And I think those numbers are a little skewed right now. The Wildcats have 7 4-star recruits and 10 top 500 prospects. Kentucky's average star rating of 88.18 with rivals would have finished number 19 overall in last year's 2026 cycle, meaning this isn't just volume, it's legitimately high-end talent for a first-year coach. This Will Stein era of coming in is impressive, but what's more impressive is who he's getting.
Yeah.
During Mark Stoops' run, he and Vince Marrow, the big dog, built their reputation keeping the best in-state players at home and playing at Kentucky, a commitment that had shifted in recent years to out-of-state or even to Louisville. Will Stein appears to be swinging that pendulum back. Here's an example. Malachi Brown, a 4-star defensive lineman from Corbin, Kentucky, visited campus June 5th and committed 2 days later to Kentucky, turning down offers from Alabama, the national champion, Indiana,
Ohio State too, right?
Ohio State, and Tennessee.
I didn't know Tennessee.
Yeah. And Corbin, a lot of those folks cheer for Tennessee, believe it or not. Brown ranks as the 4th best player in the entire state of Kentucky. Stein's staff arrived in Lexington with a glaring hole at the offensive line. They patched,
which we talked about,
with a transfer portal haul that ranked them number 10 nationally, but the long-term fix requires high school recruiting. A headline target is Caden Moss, the number 41 overall player in Rivals industry ranking, a 6'4", 330-pound interior offensive lineman from Jackson, Mississippi. During his visit, Moss connected with current Kentucky lineman Lance Hurd from Tennessee and offensive line coach Leftwich, saying afterward, they told me I can come in and be part of what they're building and do something different at Kentucky. Craig, pulling a top 10 interior offensive lineman out of Mississippi away from Ole Miss, Ohio State, and Oregon will be a massive win in the trenches. Current players like Lance Hurd doing some of the selling instead of his selling on his former school tells you that this locker room culture is buying in. That they're not just here for a paycheck. How much does that kind of player-to-player recruiting matter compared to just a coach's pitch?
Well, we just talked about it in basketball.
Absolutely.
Here, they've got something to build on because of Stein's reputation at Oregon as the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator, right? When the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, yeah. And so We have talked before about it doesn't matter how good a quarterback you are. If you don't have an offensive line giving you at least 2 seconds to get the throw off,
It doesn't
it
matter.
it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. He could be Bart Starr or he could be another Peyton Manning. If he can't get his ball, and Peyton Manning had a quick release, if he doesn't have an offensive line that can protect him for at least a couple seconds, it doesn't matter what you got. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
Stein focused on we've got a pretty good and we got a big offensive line.
Tim Couch at Cleveland is a good example of that. If you don't have an offensive
Right.
line, you're going to have your butt on the back.
Right.
So,
Didn't he lead didn't
all
Cleveland
time,
lead quarterback sacks?
all time in the
Okay,
season.
all time. But and you got a 6'5" quarterback, number 1 in the country, number 1 pick, number 1 offense in the country, and Cleveland couldn't stop him from getting sacked.
Not at all.
It was not his fault that he didn't make it.
No, not at all.
It was the
Getting drafted by
general
Cleveland.
manager. It was a general manager not getting people there to protect him.
Kentucky is still seeking another middle linebacker. Sean Fox, a top 300 outside linebacker from Indianapolis, recently visited Clemson and left without committing, which is huge, keeping Kentucky firmly in the race after the Wildcats moved up his visit to showcase Lexington at his finest. Georgia linebacker Drew Williams, whose finalists include Oregon, Miami, and Florida, will visit Lexington a week after checking out Oregon's facility. Kentucky is also pursuing Antonio Berry, a top 100 prospect and top 10 tackle from Mississippi, who has already visited Florida and Colorado, with trips to Ole Miss and Alabama still planned, but he has not committed after going to Florida
Right.
and
Well,
Colorado.
you get a player to go to those teams. Colorado's Deion Sanders.
Right.
You get a player that goes visit Florida. He goes visits high-powered Oregon, and he still hadn't decided, and he's got Kentucky in there.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard us compete against Alabama, Florida, and Ohio State?
I think back to when, Wandale and Ryan Timmons and those guys, in-state guys, and
You heard about Ryan Timmons, right?
Ryan Timmons is now an assistant principal at Franklin County High School.
Yeah, so we'll have to have him on.
Home.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah, that's good. That's great for. I'd say that they'll probably utilize some of his knowledge on the football field if I
Pirate Redbeard holler at him and say, "Hey,
Pirate Redbeard has anything to do with it."
Yeah.
And then obviously you have Joey Thacker up there, who's one of the greatest sports minds ever. We need to have Joey on the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Joey, if you're watching, I'll call you. We'll figure something out. Stein and his staff have recruited at an elite level since arriving immediately, establishing Kentucky as a destination program in the trenches at linebacker and increasingly back home in the state. Being in the top 10 nationally at this point in the early summer is a pretty good start, but the Wildcats have to stay aggressive through the rest of the cycle. Early on field success, once the 2026 season kicks off, will be pivotal. That's that second game of the season against Alabama.
Right.
Do everything for recruiting.
Yeah. I mean, drawing Alabama as our second game, that sucks. I wish it was the fifth game. Yeah.
This is not Alabama when Nick Saban was down there. Let's be honest.
I know, but it's still Alabama.
It is still Alabama.
Like
we have that attitude, Craig.
Yeah, we beat Florida. We beat Florida several times now.
Yeah.
And they said, well, they're not the Florida of old. I don't care. They're still Florida. We beat what was it, Auburn?
Yeah.
They're not the Auburn of old. I don't care. They're still Auburn.
That's right.
Tennessee, if we beat Tennessee, they might not be the same Tennessee, but they're still Tennessee. They're still national contenders regardless. They're going to go to a big bowl game regardless because of their fans, and they're going to be good. It's just the SEC is so darn strong. If you pulled these teams, if you pulled the top half of the league out of the SEC and put them in 7 different leagues, they probably win that league every year.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
we kill ourselves in football.
Well, now we're going to 9 conference games.
Right.
I mean,
it's even worse. It's going to be even harder. Yeah.
Are you going to pull? We'll pull Mississippi State. Well, Mississippi State, has had some
even Vandy is not bad.
No, but Vandy next year is not. They don't have Diego.
Right. Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens there. My take is Will Stein is doing exactly what every successful coach who's rebuilt a program does. You have to win in the trenches. You have to win at home. and making Kentucky a real player for talent. Something else that Will Stein has done sneakily, and a bunch of people are talking about it. My guys are all talking about it right now. If you see Will Stein in Kentucky gear, his Nike pullover and everything else, he has almost exclusively brought back the Power K. Now, the
I
Power
hope so. God, I hate that
yeah,
H.
that UK that looks like Houston and looks
Yeah,
like
it looks like University of Houston.
it looks like all these other programs, and then you have the silly cat that we utilize
Yeah,
over
that
cat head and
just
all that
one
stuff.
blue thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're talking all of his gear, Nike gear, has the Power K on it. And my buddy Kip, who sometimes watches the show, he said to me last night, "Can you imagine as they run out onto the field to play Alabama and they're wearing Power K on their helmet? That place would be
Yeah.
bananas. It
'Cause
would be
that's what the
berserk."
fans want. Nike came up with that design, I'm guessing,
Oh yeah,
or some first grader did, one of the 2,
yeah,
and throws that thing out there. It is immediately hated by the fan base because it looks like a damn H.
yeah.
And not do you got a screen you trying to pull a screen image of it?
I was actually going to pull the Power K
Yeah, okay.
stuff.
But it just does not. And yeah, I hope he changed. I hope we go back to the old style. I hope we go back to the old Wildcat, not this screaming thing they got on there that's nothing. That took somebody 3 minutes to design.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't use it on none of my stuff. It's not on none of my screensavers or anything I use.
I think that's the other thing about Will Stein that a lot of people they're not missing it. He's doing it right. He is bringing back little things that really get people excited about the program, including the Power K,
Yeah.
which is subtle. It's very subtle, but for fans, long suffering fans back to the 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
to see that Power K and what that would mean. In fact, there used to be, even best defensive player would have a black watch, which would mean that he'd have the black style around it like that.
Mhm.
It was a tradition, and then they took it away. And listen, I understand you got to adjust with the times, U and the K and all that stuff. But now that it looks like Houston, and it looks like other teams that have done this,
It's remarkably like Houston.
very much so. And we need to stand out, and this would definitely stand out.
Yeah.
So Will Stein, if you're listening, anybody else is listening, if you care what a couple of old guys think, bring it back at least for a game. Bring it back for
Yeah.
the Alabama game, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all for it. I'll be for it 100%.
Yeah. If you have enjoyed the show, whether you're a Big Blue fan or you were here for the news, make sure you like and subscribe and share and click that little bell icon so that you will be notified every single time we're about to go live. We covered a whole lot today, Craig. Anything you want to touch on before we get out of here?
No, it was a deep dive
It was.
into the Iran agreement or the memorandum of understanding.
Yeah.
And that is, and once again, that's a memorandum of understanding. That is not a treaty, not even close to a treaty. And the $300 billion will not come from the taxpayers.
It will not.
It'll come from private industry, or if Arab countries want to invest in Iran, that'll be their money. But it's not coming from us. So that's 2 things to remember going away.
Yeah, we will. I'm joined every single day by my good friend Craig, and every weekday at 5 p.m. And obviously, if any news breaks, we jump in as well. And if anything happens, if Kusturica comes, we're obviously going to be ready to go live and all of that as well. That's going to do it for today's show. For Apex News Above the Noise, my good friend Craig, thanks again. We talked about a lot, even some heavy stuff, but then we talked about some fun stuff with UK as well. To everyone listening or watching, we can't thank you guys enough for making us one of the fastest growing YouTube podcasts. And we'd love for you to become a regular listener or watcher of our show. It means a lot to us. So, hey, Jake, thanks to you, buddy. For any of you who want to catch us again, we'll be here tomorrow, 5 p.m. to talk about all the news, politics, and obviously
little NBA. I'll dig up that stuff.
A little bit of NBA. and we will go from there. So everybody else, until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, stay above the noise. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.